Welcome back to a Tuesday afternoon video. I think everyone knows about that incident which occurred last night, 24 hours ago at Liverpool. A car ploughed into a crowd, injuring 47 people total. That's the official account. Obviously there have been people filming closed circuit television footage and all that stuff from various angles. The first thing which is very suspicious is Merseyside police, in their press conference to the mass media, straight away they said, "We arrested a male who is 53 years old, white, of British citizenship." Fair enough. Okay. But strangely enough, if you had a chance to see the film footage, which is gruesome and graphic, there's an angle shot of him ploughing in to the crowd, and there was a member of the public which opened the door. And from a distance, you clearly see the attacker's face of the vehicle. He doesn't, and I managed to get hold of a photo which has been enlarged, and what the police mentioned doesn't correspond to the person who they arrested. This is a more younger chap with a beard, moustache, more of a Middle Eastern characters. North Africa, the Middle East, those parts there. Looks like one of those people from there. And why did the police straight away said it and arrested this person and identified this person in this way? Because usually when it comes to ethnic minorities and people do these terrorist attacks in the name of religion or propaganda or something, they don't mention it. But they mention it this time because it's not for public outcry. This is bias, they're covering up and all that rubbish they're doing. Another thing is, which is suspected, the coppers let this vehicle go more further along. They never managed to block in some way, despite Mount enemy officers were on duty. They could have stopped him in some way. And another thing is, which is suspicious, is how the bloody hell he gained access to the area. Some say it's a pedestrian precinct closed off the traffic, or when they do these things, if it's roads, it's closed off the traffic, because that evening Liverpool was celebrating the trophy which they won in the Premier League of this year. Another dead giveaway, when this person ploughed in to the crowd, when it eventually stopped the vehicle, the rear tailgate window was already smashed. And somehow there is no footage available yet how that happened. Probably coppers were trying to smashing it, possible. And the counter-terrorism police of Merseyside involved in the investigation, if it's some nutter who just ploughed in to the crowds just like that because it's bonkers, you will have these counter-terrorism people investigating, because they are treating it as a as a terrorist act. Typical on the European continent. Someone gets a van and a car and plows into a crowd, just like that. But mainly, who are behind these so-called terror attacks? You know who they are. Yes, jihadis. And I get the suspicion this person was aided in some way. By who and how, do not know. That is clear. With such ease, got there and managed to play all these people to a certain distance. And some say they were spotted police officers with sniper rifles on the top of rooftops after the incident. Why would you put police officers of firearms squad who are trained to take out any target with sniper rifles? There is no known politician who was present at that event. This was after, therefore it's considered as, just say, a terrorist attack. And until we don't actually see the photo of this so-called person arrested, this 53-year-old white British citizen, they said it straight away, it's very, very fishy. It sounds like it's been put together in such a clever way to fool people. For what aim? You have to create a false flag event, which I consider is to create terror in the population, to impose more stricter laws on liberties in that country. You know, with Sturmer in power in the last few months, it's not exactly behaving like a prime minister, it's behaving like a dictator. And finally today we heard the news, Tommy Robson was released. What about the others? Known and less known, they should be freed. They should be considered as political prisoners in this case. Dissidents who do not bow down to the narrative of that regime in that moment. This is what it's all about. Whether you like it or not, it's like this.